One more for Jesus. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Thoreau Smiley, and I think unicorns are kick-ass. I am joined this week by...
Hey, I'm Josh CC, and I'm not doing any ass licking today. I told you that, right?
I'm Brian Lesh, and I thought we were doing the sequel to Death of a Salesman.
There are many Jeffs in the world, and many Toms as well. But I am Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and then we tell you all about it. This week, we are watching Orgazmo.
What would you say if someone offered you peace and happiness through all of eternity? Have a nice day.
Meet Joe Young.
Hi.
He's a man on a mission.
Lisa wants to get married in the temple, but I don't think I can afford it.
Who just got an offer.
Have you ever considered acting?
I got offered a part in a movie, and it pays $20,000.
He couldn't refuse.
What are you acting in?
It's, an action, adventure, porno.
Porno?
But when things get out of control,
Can't believe I'm doing this.
he can't get out
You're gonna finish this film.
You don't own me.
You wanna bet I don't, punk?
without a fight.
Ah, heck! Criminy!
Now, he's becoming the superhero
Bye-bye. God bless.
he was always meant to be.
I'm Orgazmo.
Orgazmo.
Did someone say my name?
Now you're my own.
Orgazmo. It was released September 6th, 1997. It had a running time of 94 minutes. It cost $1.3 million to make, and it took in theaters $602,000.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I have a feeling it made plenty of money on video
Yeah.
and DVD.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't feel...
Like I said, what?
I was going to say we shouldn't feel too bad for Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I think they're okay.
Yeah, I don't feel
I don't think I knew this was a movie until 2 or 3 years after it was released.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So I was 10 when this came out. I was currently Mormon. I don't remember this movie coming out.
It was a big Christmas movie for you guys then?
Yeah, we put it on in the chapel, the kids all gathered around. Yeah, no, I didn't know about this movie until maybe junior high-ish, so a few years later.
But you didn't see it until...
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
I've had a number of people tell me that I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure that I was either too shocked or too drunk to remember.
Yeah. I have a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
My wife's like, we saw it in the theater.
So from a Mormon perspective, Brian,
They get a few things wrong. There are no Jesus statuettes in Mormonism, surprisingly. Just the statue of Moroni. Well, there are Jesus statues, but not ones that you pray to. There are actually some really cool giant Jesus statues in Salt Lake at their temple. Visit it if you're ever in Utah. It's wild.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
They let the public in. It's pretty great. Not into the temple itself, but the visitor center has the biggest statue of Jesus besides the Rio de Janeiro one. I think it's arguably as cool.
I've been through Salt Lake, yeah. Al and I slept at a KOA campsite in St. George that was paved.
Dude, I love St. George so much. It's one of my favorite cities.
Paved.
A hummingbird
the temple and all that
mad
thing.
dogged me there.
I think I remember that.
You probably deserved it.
German tourists in the pool. Enjoying the paved campsite. They come to America to see.
One of my Mountain Dew.
Yeah, your Mountain
Should
Dew.
have given him the Mountain Dew.
Oh, I let the hummingbird have all the Mountain Dew he wanted.
So I have a question about this movie. Because you guys are a little bit older than I am. You were aware of this movie when it came out. Was this movie sold in porno stores? I assume you guys all go to porno stores.
Oh, I did, yeah. Sold in.
I don't recall seeing it in a porno shop.
Yeah, it just was a curious thing. I was like, this would be a kind of clever thing to market it that way. But I mean, there's not really a lot of sex in it. It's not porn.
Like, I'm sure some, sold it. Ron Jeremy's in it. The women are notable actresses from the time. Yeah, I'm sure they did. I worked at a video store, and it was just on the normal rack, just out there with the Pinocchios and the Willy Wonka.
There's actually remarkably little nudity in this.
Yeah. Lots of male asses.
Lots of
I was tickled every time.
Male asses. I think I counted 14 male asses.
But that's a joke in itself. That's what like 70s and 80s porno was, just a lot of hairy bobbing man ass.
Yeah.
To quote Bill.
Because there's nothing your heterosexual male demographic wants to see more than a big hairy man ass filling up your screen.
Well, and for so long, any penetration was like XXX. So, that's how you could show sex with some dude's rear end.
Yeah. That's so funny.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Can't we go back to a simpler time when all you saw was 2 feet and a hairy ass?
2 feet,
my childhood.
Go to bed, Thoreau.
I want my America back.
2 feet. That's my slogan for my presidential run this year. 2 feet and a hairy ass. That's what you get.
I'd vote for you.
Yeah, it's an honest platform.
You thought you were getting fucked before.
Yeah.
So okay.
But it's interesting that I'm sorry, but the porno aspect and the Mormon aspect both are crucial to the plot, but neither are really played on. You know what I mean? There's a couple Mormon jokes, and the whole thing is about a porno, but he doesn't lean on those. A lot of the funny shit is separate.
Yeah,
is the characters. Yeah.
Well, and there were
impressive.
There were some interesting things, and we'll get into that as we get into the movie. But like their experience, I didn't go on a mission. I left being the church when I was far younger than that age. But I have a lot of friends who went, and their experiences are comical in the sense that they get a lot of doors slammed in their faces.
Yeah,
and that was a great way to open the movie. I was laughing at that, like, oh, I could see why, selling that idea of like, this sucks to young people. Like, of course he's going to do porn.
Yeah. Yeah. Quick. So Brian, I assume you did not go on mission?
A mission? No, I did not.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank God. Oh.
Yeah, man.
They actually lowered the age. It used to be, I believe it was 19, and now it is 18. That was in the last 10 years.
How successful is that program?
More successful in the past. In recent years, they are not.
When there wasn't TV and internet.
Yeah, the internet has been
come on in.
The biggest issue as far as retention of people. They're still pretty good at bringing people in. Growth is good, but they lose a lot of people out the front door.
Is that just another industry that millennials are killing?
Yes, basically. Well, and I mean, not to get too much into the church and its background and that kind of thing, but killing is a question. Ultimately, they have a lot of money. They are very stable financially. They're going to be around longer than Scientology is. They are fiscally responsible in that sense. And even if the church shrinks to being 100,000 people, it will always be around. It will always be. I don't expect them to go away ever.
Oh no,
They will be in space with us.
I guarantee. They worked their way.
They'll be on their planets.
Yeah.
They worked their way into the status quo. Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. It's an incredible thing. I'm not a big fan myself of the church, having left for personal reasons, but it is crazy to watch this one guy from Palmyra, New York, turn
what?
12 to a thing that we're making fun of and shit. In Palmyra, New York.
I'm from Elmira, New York. Where's
Are you
Palmyra?
fucking kidding? It's upstate New York somewhere. There's a big hill. Cumorah Hill is where Joseph found the plates and all that shit. I don't know.
I see. Yeah. Well, and then then Missouri.
Yeah.
But if they can survive Missouri.
You do it to yourself. You do. Anyways. Yeah, I have all kinds of opinions about this stuff, you guys. We could just do a Brian's Mormon Thought podcast. I don't want to do that, though.
I'm always interested.
My line is open. You know my name. Look up the number.
We got Radiohead and the Beatles in there, Brian. Nice. So
a lot of music this week.
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, R.I.P. Little Richard.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah. The Architect.
Yeah.
He was my first concert I ever saw.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's crazy.
I saw him at Casino in Yuma.
Wow.
It was incredible.
I bet. I went down a rabbit hole watching Little Richard videos last night. And whew, that man.
Yeah. Force of nature, man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There was one point where there's one video where during what was it? Oh, it was Ready Teddy. He was there was one point where he stopped playing and the band just kept going, and he took his shirt off and spent literally 3 minutes just like working the crowd as to where he was going to throw the shirt and who was going to get it. They were losing their minds for like 3 minutes waiting for Little Richard's shirt.
Playing with his nipples.
Right.
Yeah, man. He cast the mold that, Prince stepped into.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. His touring guitarist was Jimi Hendrix during the early 60s.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sure was.
Mm-hmm. He fired him.
Everybody.
Yeah. He was too wild. He was just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which is saying something.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was probably going in a different direction. I'm sure it's probably amicable.
It's like, why are you doing 12-minute guitar solos in the middle of Long Tall Sally?
Yeah, in the middle of all of my 3-chord songs. Rein it in, Jimmy. Rein it
in. Okay, so Orgazmo.
Oh, yeah.
So usually this is where we put the box office top 10 game. Orgazmo did not make the top 10, but I thought we'd play a little bit, talk a little bit about what was big that week. So I'm going to read the taglines for the top 10 and see if you guys can tell me what these movies are. At number 10, a bratty teenager fakes her own kidnapping but gets mistakenly kidnapped for real instead.
Air Force One.
The Getaway.
Starring Alicia Silverstone.
The Getaway. No?
Excess Baggage.
All right.
I was 10. I was the target demographic for that.
Right. At number 9. At number 9, the sheriff of a suburban New Jersey community populated by New York City police officers slowly discovers.
Oh, that's Copland.
Yep. Faux show.
Sylvester Stallone is the sheriff you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, no, it is. I haven't seen it in 20 years, but yeah, it was. I remember it being good.
If you like 2 hours of just guys doing Italian accents, and muscling each other.
I pay extra for that.
How much ass is there in it?
Ass? De Niro's, Keitel's,
really?
Stallone's? No.
Oh my god! I was like, holy shit!
Dennis Franz.
Well, all their asses were in it. They're just covered.
Just in pants. Jeaned asses.
They're wearing two-sided capes. So you can see.
Two-sided capes.
They kept the illusion up the whole time. Yeah.
At number 8, we've got 3 years ago, entomologist Dr. Susan Tyler genetically created an insect to kill cockroaches carrying a virulent disease. Now the insects
Air
are
Force One.
All right.
Now the insects are out to destroy their only predator, mankind.
Nuh-uh. Not their only predator. Yeah.
What is this? I want to see this movie. Sounds great.
Al might be right. Air Force One?
No.
Bugs fly.
Mimic.
What?
Huh.
I didn't know that's what that was about. Yeah. What a depressing week so far.
Right. At number 7, a taxi driver with a penchant for conspiracy theories becomes a target after one of these theories turns out to be true.
Isn't it called conspiracy theory?
It is, yes.
Yeah, it's conspiracy theory. Or conspiracy, right?
Yeah. Or conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Sandy Bullock?
Was it Sandy Bullock? I know it was Mel Gibson. Yeah, I think it was Sandy Bullock.
Definitely Mel Gibson.
George Clooney's ass. Okay.
Here's one Brian might have seen. The son of Zeus and Hera is stripped of his mortality. As an infant, it must become a true hero in order to reclaim it.
Brad. Hercules.
Yeah.
Brad Hercules.
Brad Hercules. As Batman. Yeah.
The strongest mathlete on campus.
At number 5, communist radicals hijack Air Force One with the U.S. president and his family.
It's Air Force One. Air Force One.
No, it's Mimic.
Black Hawk Down.
Is that right?
Yes, it is Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane.
I was about to say, like, Al, you got to say it again for a rule of 3, but that was perfect. That really is Air Force One.
Yeah. At number 4, black gangsters in 1930 Harlem fight Dutch Schultz, who is trying to horn in on their numbers racket.
Air Force One.
You can't do it now. That's the 4th time.
Yeah.
It's a rule of 4.
No, what was
I feel
that
like I know what
called?
this movie is, but I don't know what it is.
Hoodlum?
Hoodlum. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
At number 3, sought by police and criminals, a small-time huckster makes a deal with a TV newsman for protection.
Sounds fun.
Let's see. Who is... I can't...
Air Force 2.
Let's see. That it was Money Talks.
Okay.
At number 2.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
If you say
Wait,
so.
Money Talks is the sequel to Get Shorty, isn't it?
No.
No? That's a different movie.
Oh, no. Be Cool is the...
Be Cool.
What
Sorry, that's
what
right.
was the sequel? Because Be Cool. Yeah,
Be
that's
Cool.
right. Be Cool.
At,
Yeah.
Totally different movie.
at number
Yeah,
2.
it's not as good, but it has its moments.
Wow. I don't know if I'd describe it this way, but number 2, a female senator succeeds in enrolling a woman into combined reconnaissance team training where everyone expects her to fail.
G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember
weird.
that as a 10-year-old.
It's weird.
I definitely remember
It's
that
weird
as
to
a
open
10-year-old.
with a female senator.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like a lady doctor.
Yeah.
She did this. Yeah.
And number 1, going undercover in rural Kentucky, an environmental agent tries to prove the dumping of toxic waste in the local coal mines by ruthless industrialists.
Aaron Brockovich.
No, that's
The Dukes of Hazzard.
that's 3 years away, actually, Aaron Brockovich.
Aaron Brockovich to Mecca Brockovich.
Mothrovich.
Mothrovich. Mothrovich, your witness.
Fire Down Below was our number 1 movie of the week.
That's about
Who was that? Who
about
was the star?
gonorrhea.
Was that Matthew McConaughey?
I feel like it was. Let me look it up. Fire Down Below.
Yeah, I feel like that was Matthew McConaughey for some reason.
You're feeling a little quiggly down under because I got the fire down below. And I'm going to blow the toilet off of Air Force One.
Oh, Steven Seagal. Oh my God, Steven Seagal played an environmentalist.
What is this movie called?
Fire Down Below. Steven Seagal.
Whoa.
Chris
I am writing this down.
He's like, I don't. Chris Christopherson did it?
Harry Dean Stanton, Levon Helm,
What?
Randy Travis, and Travis Tritt.
Both of them?
Yes.
Wow.
Randy Travis Tritt.
Yeah, man. Greater than the sum of their parts. That's fantastic.
Insane.
God, I can't wait till we get to 1997 for the fucking Patreon.
I'm curious who's on Seagal's side and who's not.
Right.
It's such a cat. And he wasn't protecting trees just because he loved the environment. It's because they don't have arms and legs and somebody needs to fight for them.
That guy. I have to know.
Our box office top 10. So, all right.
That was a terrible week.
That really was. Was a bad week for movies. Orgazmo should have made the top 10.
Quarantine level.
Yeah.
But it did not.
But So it came in. It was rated as NC-17, or was it rated as R? When it came in.
It came out NC-17. This is our first, and as far as I'm aware, only NC-17 one we'll be doing for Harmless Phosphorescence.
They've done away with that, right?
No, it still exists.
It's like a vestigial limb, just there.
Yeah, I mean, in the Netflix era, it's like whatever. Like ratings don't really matter.
Yeah, I didn't think, but yeah, NC-17. Gotcha.
It probably would have done better as R.
Oh yeah,
it would have.
Definitely would have. But they and they really tried to get it down to an R, but the MPAA. So all right, let me actually find that. They attempted. Why, hello there.
Sorry.
Okay, here we are. So
they attempted.
Yeah, okay. So half of the budget for the picture came from a Japanese porn company.
That was the title card at the very beginning. That read
Yeah.
Who wanted to feature its performers in mainstream Western media. There was that scene.
With those two guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the twins.
Yeah.
The ass fuck twin?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes,
so
the ass fuck twin.
This was a vehicle for those two chicks?
Yeah.
It's quite an investment. I mean, that's an interesting aspect of this. That they paid a ton of money to get those two girls on screen to say two lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, they didn't pay a ton.
To meet your doom.
God, so fucking funny.
That's what's kind of awesome is that Trey, Parker, and all, everyone involved made it for what? It was like $1.5 million?
Yeah. Wow. Right around there. Independent distributor.
That's like half of what the first Toxie cost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Right, anyways, go ahead.
And it's a far better film in many ways.
Yeah, I agree.
But so independent distributor October Films purchased the rights to it for $1 million after seeing it screen at the Toronto International Film Festival. So it got like a proper like indie film deal. But it received an NC-17 from the MPAA. Parker and Stone attempted to negotiate with them on what to delete, but the MPAA refused to give them specific notes. Matt and Trey later theorized that it was because the MPAA really didn't care about independent films, which is a fair theory to work with. So this was written and directed by Trey Parker. Matt Stone produced it. Let's see. So they met. They are, of course, a famous team behind South Park. They met while attending the University of Colorado in Boulder. They collaborated on various short films. They were in the film track there together. And after,
while they were at school, or shortly after, they made Cannibal the Musical.
Exactly. Yes.
Everybody seen that?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. I'm aware of it, though.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was originally titled Alfred Packer the Musical.
The only person convicted of cannibalism in the United States.
I see.
And it is a musical.
Yeah, they produced that by raising $125,000 from family and friends. They submitted it to Sundance, but they never heard back. So instead,
and they're Colorado born and bred.
Yeah,
that was a dick move, Sundance.
Yeah. So instead, they went to the festival and rented a hall themselves and showed it themselves.
Sundance is in Utah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They made a lot of connections there, and then sold the rights of the film to Troma.
Yes.
Which is where the Troma connection comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They moved to LA, got an agent and a lawyer, and started pitching around town various projects. The one that went the furthest without actually getting made was a children's program entitled Time Warped. They sold that to Fox Kids as a concept. It would have involved fictionalized stories of people throughout history. David
Is there still a Fox Kids? That would be great if it was like 9-year-olds in suits talking about conspiracy theories and like, the Hunan disease.
And now to Jan.
Here on Fox Kids, we hate everything too. We overheard Daddy.
If you think pizza is a vegetable, call in.
Bedtimes? Is it just a liberal conspiracy?
We'll find out.
What are they watching?
Sean Hannity. What are they watching? Like Veggie Tales and some just terrible shit. Boring.
So David Zucker was a fan of Cannibal, and he contacted the duo to produce a 15-minute short film to show at a party for Seagram's acquisition of Universal Studios. I did not realize that the Seagram alcohol company bought Universal Studios at some point in the mid-90s.
Wow, really? That's like CBS buying Fender guitars. That doesn't make any kind of sense.
Well, it doesn't, except maybe some like executives were standing around the office drinking Seagram's and Seagram's ginger ale. And they're like, we should combine this. We love drinking these and making movies.
Well, you guys know how at the beginning of Ghostbusters, Columbia comes up as a Coca-Cola company because Coke bought Columbia in the early 80s.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beverages were the biggest thing, I guess. At this
vertical integration.
Yeah. That's like GE bought NBC prior to Comcast. So due to a misunderstanding, Parker and Stone improvised much of the film an hour before it was shot. They created it as a spoof of 1950s instructional videos, and they included a number of celebrity cameos in it. It was called Your Studio and You. And it had Sylvester Stallone, Demi Moore, and Steven Spielberg in it.
Wow.
Did they get a bar mitzvah?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Spielberg is just everywhere in this podcast. Without actually doing any of the movies that were.
Yeah, he's just been at bar mitzvahs that these guys have been at.
There is not a single Steven Spielberg movie that we're going to do, but he's constantly everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot Spielberg pole, but I love the idea. Robert Zemeckis, do this. Fucking do it.
Can I show you my 10-foot Spielberg pole?
No, it costs a lot. He directed Schindler's Fist.
My favorite one was it? The Good, the Bad, Jesus.
Yeah. That sums it up, though.
Pulp Jesus.
Pulp Jesus, yeah. So they later said you could probably make a feature film out of the experience of making that movie because it was just two dudes from college suddenly directing Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Wow. Improvising their direction, too.
Yeah. It was at this point that they started writing and making Orgazmo. And then during the making of Orgazmo, they made a short film called The Spirit of Christmas.
Yes.
Usually now referred to as Jesus versus Frosty. So this, Trey Parker credits Terry Gilliam directly as his inspiration for animation. And you can, the cutout style. Yeah.
It's just moving paper. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But that was at Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival. I remember seeing it very early on before South Park. Yeah.
I remember seeing that as a kid at some point floating around.
Yeah. It was one of the first things when the internet
totally.
opened up. When the
I
trucks full of internet came to the town.
Somebody had it on tape.
The internet truck went around throwing out.
I think it was on like a compilation or something at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it popped up on VHS mixtapes.
Yeah, totally. Brian Graydon at Fox liked the short and asked Parker and Stone to produce a video greeting card, which he financed so that he could send it to his friends. This became known as Jesus versus Santa. He sent the film on VHS around the industry to friends and other executives. Someone digitized the film, put it on the internet, where it became one of the very first viral videos. As it became more popular, they started getting meetings and started talking about developing the short into a series, which would be called South Park. They pitched the show first to Fox. The network refused to pick it up due to not wanting to air a show that included a talking poo character.
We have integrity.
Yeah, here at Fox.
Now let's watch Cheaters. And
Married with Children.
Studs.
Married with Children.
So they entered into negotiations with both MTV and Comedy Central. They went with Comedy Central, fearing that MTV would turn it into a kids show.
Well, and what is, that was a match made in heaven, because they made South Park and South Park made them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
That was the deal that made Comedy Central.
Yeah. It's actually surprising that Orgazmo didn't do better, since South Park premiered with 5.5 million viewers a month before Orgazmo was released.
Wow. People don't. Yeah. Have there been many successful porn? There's Boogie Nights. Yeah. Can you think of another one where they've either parodied porn or dealt with it? I can't think of successful examples. I think people are so prudish they don't want to admit that they even laugh at pornography.
I mean, there was that HBO show Hung for a while, which I didn't watch, but I know that was about porn.
There's a David Simon show on HBO. I've only seen the first episode. It's got I can't think of her name. Maggie Gyllenhaal in it. She's great.
I can't think of his name. It's got that guy that everybody loves.
Raymond?
Yeah, Raymond. Ray Romano.
That's the only one I know of.
No, the other guy that hangs out with Seth Rogen.
Oh, James Franco?
Oh, James Franco. I don't know if everybody loves James Franco. I think James Franco.
Everybody loves James Franco.
I don't know about that.
Everybody has a feeling about him.
Yeah.
You should Google him later.
Yeah. Not everybody loves James Franco.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
I don't think I want to.
There's not a lot of. That's an interesting thing. There's not a lot of pornography in popular culture media.
No, there's not.
We are prudish as Americans.
Yeah, we are.
But they tried. I mean, they made a movie about Deep Throat or about Linda Lovelace. They made that movie Wonderland with Val Kilmer as John Holmes.
Oh yeah.
So they've tried, but they just none of them. But like I said, Boogie Nights did well. I can't think of another one. So yeah, like Thoreau said, Orgazmo should have at least had curious parties coming to see it. But
and I remember
people not wanting to buy a ticket.
Yeah,
this came out after South Park started, right?
Yeah, a month later.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember when South Park came out, it was all we talked about as small children. It was the greatest thing to ever happen to I think I was in fourth grade. But yeah. It's weird. None of the marketing for this made it to me. So it'd be hard to tie those things together in that sense.
Oh, I never saw any marketing for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of appeared one day and just was suddenly everywhere.
Who distributed this? Is it Troma?
Orgazmo?
Yeah.
No, it was October Films.
Oh.
It just appeared. It just appeared one day as a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the house.
I remember seeing the VHS tapes and posters and all those things. Yeah.
I have one right there. I can show the microphone.
So
I love that you still have your VHS copy of it. That cracked me up.
It was fortuitous. I don't think I have another movie on our list, unless PCU or Suburbia.
Yeah, we've already passed all the ones that I have on VHS back at my folks' place.
Makes sense.
Comedy Central made a ton on South Park merchandise. That was where their real money was. But within less than a year, they had sold over $150 million worth of shirts and stickers and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's where they got all that money to offer Dave Chappelle for that last season.
Right.
It was from South Park.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yes. Yeah. It's a house that built Comedy Central.
Yeah. They had Parker and Stone had the philosophy that they should take every deal that was offered to them because they didn't think South Park was going to last. So it's led to a lot of interesting things, including basketball.
Which was made by one of the Zucker brothers, right? Or both of them?
Yeah, it was Zucker related.
Was that was an MTV thing, right? Wasn't it?
I don't know.
MTV
like
films?
an MTV movie or something.
No,
I don't remember that.
No,
it might have been. Election was an MTV film.
Yeah.
The first MTV film was what was it? It was that one about with Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Joe's Apartment?
No, Mark Paul Gosselaar, where his...
With the cockroaches?
Dead Man on Campus?
Yes, Dead Man on Campus was the first theatrically released MTV film, I believe.
Really?
That was actually kind of a funny, that was a
chuckler. Yeah, I remember that being good. That's still in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
But Gene Krupa.
Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
South Park?
Yeah, we know. All of us.
Yeah. South Park.
So Basketball was, I don't know. I thought it was a fun movie. It's pretty, you can tell they didn't direct it.
Yeah.
But some of the jokes are good.
Yeah.
And Dion is in this as well as Cannibal.
Yeah, absolutely. So they also developed a prequel to Dumb and Dumber, but which was never produced. There was a prequel that did come out, though, didn't it? Wasn't there?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with that.
I remember that. I think I remember hearing about that as a kid, that they were going to do one, and really being excited for that because they would have done a great job.
When Harry met Lloyd.
Sally.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe yeah, exactly. Well, that was the name though that the tape. It may be registered on the cute scale, but it was not a good movie.
Nah.
No.
Oh yeah.
That was lightning in a bottle, folks.
Yeah, it was. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut opened in June 1999. It received,
so hilarious.
Yeah. Wow. It grossed $83 million at the box office, and earned them an Oscar nomination for Blame Canada.
And they showed up to the Oscar in gowns.
In gowns?
Yeah, J-Lo's gown.
Tripping balls.
Tripping. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I remember reading about that.
If that's not, I don't know. People love to tell their stories of De Palma and Kubrick and all that, but did they take psychedelics and wear a dress to the Oscars?
Right.
Yeah, and not just any dress, like a fucking Versace.
The J-Lo dress.
The J-Lo dress.
Bit. Like, yes, they were. The commitment to the bit was fantastic.
Absolutely. It's like, well, is anyone watching Dave, the show with Little Dicky?
No, not yet. I've had some people.
Not yet. No.
He's so good though. He's such a good.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's funny. Throughout it, he talks about like his commitment to the bit.
Bart Simpson taught me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
So this movie starred Trey Parker as Joe Young and Orgazmo, Dion Bakar. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, as Ben Chapleski / Choda Boy.
You got
Chapleski. He also starred as Kenny Squeak Scolari in Basketball, and appeared in Galaxy Quest as well as Cannibal the Musical.
Galaxy Quest. He's good in that.
Yeah,
he's one of the funniest moments in Cannibal. I only noticed it because of the commentary, which is Trey, Matt, and he. But so it takes place at that time in the 1800s, and he's speaking to an Indian squaw, like this, native princess, and he's doing sort of an awkward talking to a girl thing, and puts his hands in his pocket and rattles his keys. His car keys. It's just, it was pretty funny.
This also starred Robin Lynn Robb as Lisa. She was, in addition to Parker and Stone related stuff, was also in an episode of a TV show in the early 90s called Hey Dude.
Yeah, it was shot here in Tucson. Hey Dude.
Was it? I don't remember that. Wow.
I believe my father-in-law and brother-in-law were extras on that. They were on the Young Riders, but Hey Dude was filmed here too.
Huh. Interesting. I don't remember that at all. Crazy. You
didn't get your call sheets?
No. Michael Dean Jacobs starred as Max Orbison. Let's see. So he was in he had a bunch of he played the kind of tough Italian guy in a bunch of dramas in the early 90s. He was in Crime and Punishment, LA Law, Unsolved Mysteries. He was in an episode of The Beetleborgs.
There were a couple of actors, maybe more than a few, I suppose, that starred in that appeared in the Beetleborgs.
Yeah, what do you know?
There's a big Beetleborg
crossover
going on here.
It all comes back to the Beetleborgs.
It all comes back to the Beetleborgs.
Those 4 quirky lads from Liverpool. No, but Roy Orbison.
Actually, there were only 3 Beetleborgs.
Oh,
I guess.
Well, Ringo was barely.
Oddly enough, there were only 3.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Max Orbison. Why couldn't that guy have just been Jim Belushi?
Oh man,
instead of Jim Belushi.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. He knows how to act, this guy. Woo.
Yeah. Let's see. So Matt Stone starred as Dave the photographer. Who was like, yeah, he was great.
That joke just kept on giving, I guess.
Yeah, didn't it? Masao Maki starred as G Fresh. You could also find him in Cannibal the Musical.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a Native American.
Yeah, Brian was telling me about that. He's like, and so he's playing like a black character in this, but in Hannibal he played a Native American, and I went, what? What the fuck is going on with this guy? There must be some inside joke with the 3 of them, I hope, or they just hire him for this fucking shit.
Well, you know as well as any of us that was Hollywood's, thing.
Yeah.
Like they had Jewish actors who they didn't want to play Gentile characters whatsoever, but had them playing Native American characters, and then black faces
shuffling everybody around.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
we can keep them everybody happy.
It wasn't until like the 60s that Jewish people became white as far as society was concerned.
Well, yeah. And maybe even really in popular film, not until the 70s did people start to play the ethnic. The ethnic character was played by that actual ethnicity. Yeah. Like the last 40 years. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
but in this movie, he was obviously a sushi bar owner.
Yeah.
Who just appreciated.
At the very end, you see him in a kufi, like
he just appreciated the culture of the urban youth.
Yeah.
Well, they're in LA. They didn't say what neighborhood G Fresh is in, but who knows? There's Compton or Linwood or somewhere down there.
Yeah.
It was just funny that character or that same actor has multiple.
It's all Hollywood, I know.
But that's a good point about
town is Hollywood.
Kind of thumbing
it's
their
Hollywood,
noses at Hollywood doing this exact thing and being unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or at least they're being funny about it.
Okay, so we have Toddy Walters. She was Georgie. I believe that was the clumsy porn actress.
Yeah.
Who didn't bare her breasts or anything like that.
No. Yeah, because she was one of the few porn actresses who wasn't actually a porn actress.
Right. She was in Cannibal as well.
Stuff. Yeah, she was in Cannibal. She did voices in South Park. She was in That's My Bush. Which you guys remember
that show.
But the sitcom about George Bush that came out before 9/11 when we thought it was just going to be a wild romp.
Yeah, it was just going to be goofy and spell potato wrong.
Yeah. But she's mostly for the last about 15 years been involved in an Amy Winehouse tribute band in Denver.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Paying dues.
Yeah. We got Ron Jeremy, who starred as Clark / Jizzmaster Zero.
The Hedgehog.
Yes. So, Mr. Ron Jeremy, he left the teaching profession in the late 70s.
He has a master's degree in special education.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. He was a teacher.
Yeah. He's also hung like an art gallery. But
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe he found his calling, but interesting.
He left it to pursue a Broadway career. He said that he learned what it was like to be broke, making no money as a starving actor. So he found work posing for Playgirl. His girlfriend submitted his photo to the magazine. He used that as a springboard into the adult film industry, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic in some ways. I'm not going to go so far as to say I feel bad for Ron Jeremy, but he's more talented than he got to show, and he was, forced to be relegated to this. Yeah, like we were talking earlier about porno.
He's got a wicked sense of humor. His timing, his comedic timing is incredible.
Yeah,
and of course in this he's just like acting, whatever, reading lines. But there were a couple of those lines where I was like, I bet he said, "Let me say this," like at the very over moralizing.
He was signing autographs at Fascinations. That's over there on Speedway. But
that's familiar.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't pay or meet him or have his autograph. I just went inside to see him. Isn't that that's really all? It's sort of like a zoo type situation. I just wanted
to see him.
So yeah, I did.
He just Ron Jeremy's existence.
It was really hot out.
Yeah, I just came in for a drink of water and Ron Jeremy was there.
I knew he was there. I went for that reason, but I wasn't going to stand in the line and pay $60.
Yeah. So okay,
just want to look at him.
God, the wrong line of work, man. People are just paying for an autograph.
Oh yeah, man. So in a picture.
Yeah. Well, he got the nickname the Hedgehog bestowed upon him not because of his later appearance, because when he got that, he actually was rather thin. In the 70s, he was in shape. He didn't become the Ron Jeremy we know now until some point in the 80s. But
he got older.
Yeah.
When people do.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so
this society blames. All right, go ahead.
So, in 1979, he was flying out for the first time to LA or to California to make a film, an adult film, and he didn't bring a change of clothes. He thought it was going to be warm and sunny, and he had only a tank top and jean shorts. as one does in 1979.
Exactly.
But apparently they were filming in the mountains around LA, so they drove up on a motorcycle in blizzard conditions, and he arrived. And as he warmed up, his skin was pink and all his hair was standing on end. And apparently his fellow porn actor, William Margold, said, "You look like a fucking hedgehog."
And there it is. You get stuck.
Wow.
Maybe Coco. Do you remember that Seinfeld? George is trying to make T-Bone happen as a nickname.
That's
right.
He
gets all exasperated and upset that they end up calling him Coco the gorilla.
That's right.
Hey, Coco.
Ron,
I love that every time you have to say adult film.
Right.
You went to make an adult film as opposed to when kids are running a production.
Like Spielberg? He's still making children's productions?
No, real children. We're gonna take a hard 60 for a napping.
Ron Jeremy is listed in Guinness Book of World Records for most appearances in adult films. He has more than.
It was a household name. We all knew.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
I mean, he was like a celebrity. It's bizarre.
Let's see. Outside of the,
I honestly didn't know who he was before this movie.
Ah,
really?
Interesting.
So the late 90s.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, wow.
I didn't. When I watched this movie, I didn't recognize him as
a
Ron Jeremy.
As a
person.
Yeah, it makes sense that you. It makes sense you probably hadn't seen him, but I was wondering if you had heard the name, like John Holmes or Linda Lovelace. Like it was one of those household name porno stars.
It was one of the ones I like.
Mom and Dad about those guys all the time around the kitchen table.
Well, no, it's one of those things you might.
I grew up in it.
You might overhear them like talking about like in, your parent. You might overhear your parents mention the names or something as like. A sly reference.
I swore that he was already appearing in like Hollywood Square type situations.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew him more from like stand-ups and being the butt of jokes and those kinds of things, and being in music videos. And
his hell-raising buddy was Grandpa Munster from the Munsters.
Really?
Alson.
Wow. Yeah. Imagine running into those two guys in fucking Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on the wrong street. I got to leave.
Across the
street. So he worked as a special consultant for 9.5 weeks. He was in the 96 horror film They Bite. He was a consultant on Boogie Nights. He was, he played Blisterface in the ABC's children's show Bone Chillers.
That's an unfortunate name.
Yeah, Bone Chillers.
Let's get Ron Jeremy.
He was he was in the movie The Chase. He was in Boondock Saints. The 2003 cult film Zombiegeddon. He had a small part in Ghostbusters.
The first one? What?
Yeah, he was in Ghostbusters as an extra.
The first one?
Yeah, there's one point where you can see him like freaking out over the ghosts flying around the city.
Oh, okay. Maybe I knew this. All right. Sorry.
Let's see. He was in Killing Zoe, Detroit Rock City. He was in.
See, that's another one that got made around this time. That was surprisingly funny, and nobody knew about it.
Yeah. Right. Detroit Rock City was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was in a bunch of Trauma stuff, including Poltergeist, Terror Firmer, and one we'll see Ron Jeremy again when we do Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger 4.
Yes. More Toxie.
We have David Dunn as A-Cup channeling Chet from Weird Science.
Yeah.
There's Ron Jeremy in
Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
A-Cup, that's an odd little person.
Right. He had a real Bill Pullman Paxton.
Paxman. I know what you're saying. Chet from Weird Science.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his look, he reminds me of somebody that I still can't put my finger on, but that just looks like
that dude was something else.
And he doesn't have a lot of film credits.
No. Other than this, he has one.
He's a ringer.
Some movie called No Rules.
Yeah. Perfect for him.
Let's see. We got Chasey Lane as Candy. Probably the second most famous porn name in this after Ron Jeremy.
There's a great Bloodhound Gang song named after her.
Yeah, Chasey Lane.
That's right.
Dear Chasey Lane, wrote to explain. Yeah.
She was
the whole time she was on screen. I just kept singing it. I was like, "That's Chasey Lane. I know her song."
Porn was more mainstream than they thought.
Yeah. She was also in a movie called He Got Game and Tales from the Dark Side, Demon Knight.
He Got Game is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good soundtrack anyway. It's some Public Enemy.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Lloyd Kaufman, of course, from Trauma, played the doctor at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a number of people who really didn't have enough non-porn filmography to go into, but we have Julie Ashton as Safi, Shayla Laveau as the Greek porn actress, Jill Kelly as nurse, Max Hardcore was the award show presenter.
She was on the cover of the Blink-182 album. That girl.
Jill Kelly?
Stacey's mom?
That actress at the end, the nurse with Lloyd Kaufman. That's the woman on the Blink-182 album when they first got real popular.
Oh,
yeah, I can see the cover.
Yeah. Anyways,
balls.
We also had Christy Lake, Gina Fine, Jacqueline Lick, Mike Eaton, Melissa Hill, and Serenity.
Serenity now. Any information on Sancho?
Sancho?
Oh, yeah.
Sancho?
I am Sancho.
Was only in the only other credits he has was Cannibal and Basketball.
Oh wow. Okay. Neat.
This movie was not on Siskel and Ebert, but Roger Ebert did write a print review of it.
Yes.
I'm curious.
Roger Ebert writes, when a critic uses the word sophomoric, it's a good sign you're dealing with an amateur. I have used it
or somebody's second tryout.
I have used it only twice in the 1990s, once to refer to the plot of Wild at Heart, and again to describe Jim Morrison's lyrics.
I like Wild at Heart. I'm very mixed about Jim Morrison.
Yeah, Jim Morrison's lyrics, I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're catchy.
Yeah, man, I fucking know a lot of them.
Sure.
Right. I'm not sure they make sense as sentences.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
Okay, so those two things are sophomoric to him.
Yes, and I've only used it. Oh no, those are the only two times in the 1990s he used it after Orgazmo.
Yeah.
Okay. And only
so those are the
fucking keeps track of this shit.
and only in 11 reviews total, including Animal House, Airplane, and Endless Summer.
Okay.
He writes
Endless Summer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, with
what?
With Airplane and Animal House. So weird.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because they're, objectively they're funny. You look back at Animal House and it's definitely a boomer movie for boomers.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Airplane? How the hell do you not accidentally enjoy Airplane?
Yeah. It's one of the funniest movies ever made, period.
Yeah.
Right. If you're just looking at the screen, you're going to laugh. It's an involuntary response.
Orgazmo, a comedy by South Park co-creator Trey Parker, is the very soul of sophomorism. It is callow, gauche, obvious, and awkward, and designed to appeal to those with similar qualities.
Fuck yeah, bro. I want to like this movie more.
So he's not just insulting the movie. He's like, and if you like this, fuck you too.
Right? I'm like, all of my friends like this movie. I like this movie less than all of you guys, I think. But
I like it.
Fuck that shit. His opinion's stupid.
Right? He rewrote the scene. Like I didn't. Okay, so he rewrote the scene where they knock on the little lady's door and she insults them.
Uh-huh.
He said it would have been funnier if she. He said I saw that coming. It would have been funnier if she'd said something like, "I'm not going to be rude to you because being rude and using curse words isn't very nice. At least that's what my son Quentin Tarantino tells me." That was Roger Ebert's rewrite of the scene.
First of all, who asked you, Rod? Like, is he just hoping somebody will listen one day and be like, well, he should doctor the script?
Right.
Oh, the Mormons.
Yeah.
Well, you boys can just fuck right off.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, that was the one direct dig at the Mormons. I would say I was like, oh fuck, that's a Mormon joke for sure.
Yeah, that was
solicitousness.
Right.
Well, and
very interesting.
And when she says, "Oh, the Mormons," do you guys remember the Mormon commercials from the early 90s?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Mormons.
Yeah, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons.
It's interestingly enough, you bring that up. They have since dropped the nomenclature of Mormon, and they are like AP rulebook rules say that they should be considered the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But fuck that shit, man. They're the Mormons. Come on.
Yeah, they always will be.
Been the Mormons for 120 years or some shit.
Right. I'll remember the next time I'm officially referring to the Mormons.
Yeah.
I'll get
what am I going to call the Mormon Battalion? The
Right.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Battalion? No, I'm calling it the Mormon Battalion. That's a big Yuma thing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be the Mormons, and Elon Musk's kid will be Kyle. That's all there is to it.
The Catholics will be spooky scoutmasters.
I'm going to figure out something to do with those priests.
No, they've figured it out. They have a lot of time on their hands.
So Roger Ebert didn't like it. However, Emmanuel Levy from Variety wrote, "Massively inventive and spiked with perversely wicked humor, Orgazmo is a delightful movie that showcases the multiple talents of Trey Parker as writer, director, star."
Despite not being written by Roger Ebert.
Right.
That's why Roger didn't like it. He didn't write it.
He only likes movies he's written, which is one movie.
Was it any good?
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just a booby movie for its time.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, guy's got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, he really does, considering he was writing for like the trauma of the 60s.
Yeah, Russ Meyer. Yeah.
Maybe he feels attacked.
Right. He's just really upset that he wasn't able to make it in the business as a filmmaker.
An auteur, yeah, exactly. Yeah, rest in peace. Him and Little Richard.
Yeah. They're together now, finally. Hey everyone, Thoreau from Harmless Phosphorescence here with a message for you. Yes, you listening to me talk. Did you know that the Harmless Entertainment Network has a Patreon? That's right, you can join in and get extra fun like a Star Wars Harmless Phosphorescence miniseries, a patron-only Q&A roundtable episode. We have great bonus episodes of audio dramas like Attention Hellmart Shoppers in 1994. But not only that, if we reach our next patron goal, we'll do a monthly bonus Harmless Phosphorescence about a patron-chosen non-superhero movie. Plus, there are great new shows on the way, and if you're a patron, you'll get to hear them first. Head over to patreon.com/harmless entertainment today, and for the price of a cup of coffee, you too can join our super awesome superhero club. Now, back to the show. Yeah, so, all right, you guys ready to jump in the movie?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, wait, I haven't slapped my ass yet.
Go ahead. Face the mic.
Go on.
All right, so the titles rule. I love that they had different comic strip panels drawn by different people to give it sort of a canon. Like
Yeah.
And this was this is only, I think, the second time that we've had comic book panels. The first time being Swamp Thing 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Swamp Thing 2. And it looked so legit.
Yeah,
it looked great.
It sets the mood, and the song,
of
course, the song.
Yeah, Now You're a Man. It's like such a Trey Parker man.
I got serious Team America vibes from just the song by itself.
Absolutely. Man.
My favorite, though, is in the middle, in between the verses, on live it.
Yeah.
To punctuate the beat, yes.
Was that like a Michael McDonald voice? Is that what he's doing? Michael McDonald or
I think more of the 70s. Well, he's made jokes about Steve Perry from before.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think he's just that 80s anthemic rock denim.
God, that song, man. That song definitely drew me in. The song was good. This is one of the best songs that we've had.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good as a song.
Ow. Oh, yeah. And then after the credit sequence, we cut to Hollywood. I love the sign and then the subtitle.
I'm sorry, before we move too far from the song, I kept singing it to myself, and I kept coming back with "Eye of the Tiger."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really got that feel to it. Definitely.
It's like I would be singing it, not listening to it. I would be singing it, and then I would just end up running into "Eye of the Tiger."
That makes sense.
Yeah. It also reminds me of "Best Around" from The Karate Kid. I can't remember the guy who sang it, but you're the best.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just singing about how awesome you are. Which we've heard that many times so far.
Now it's
everyone's been taking it seriously except for this guy.
Yeah.
And this one's the best one.
I was able to keep "Eye of the Tiger" at bay, but now I'm going to be singing it all day.
Alternatively, I also slipped into "The Rye or the Kaiser" by Weird Al.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. So
Hollywood with the subtitle sign.
Yeah, Hollywood with the subtitle. Hollywood was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right there. Fuck you, Roger Ebert. I mean, that's funny.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with Mormons or porn at all. So we have two Mormon missionaries, Joseph Young and the other guy, going door to door.
White.
Yes.
White.
Elder White.
Elder White.
And
I love that it was Elder Young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a clever joke. Elder Young.
Roger Ebert complained about that too. He said it would have been funnier if it was Elder Younger. It's like,
the fuck is he giving suggestions?
It's the same fucking joke, Roger.
That was a great. It was a great name choice, just as far as like the pointing at Mormonism thing. I mean, not fucking pointing, Mormon, because Brigham Young. There's a huge Brigham Young like family tree throughout the Utah Valley and all of Salt Lake.
Oh, I bet. I bet
it is.
There are a lot of Youngs. I know a number of them. Not anymore, but I did as a kid.
Yes.
So
I can't believe Roger Ebert's editor didn't just call bullshit. It's like, look, I need to trim this by like 5 paragraphs. Can you stop rewriting this?
This movie was sophomoric.
Yeah, just leave it there.
I mean, in that it was their second movie, sure.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it is sophomoric, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
He's like, I don't use it often. Just Airplane, David Lynch, Jim Morrison, alienating a lot of people, right?
Okay. Schindler's List.
It's like anything I don't like is childish. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you and your family.
Yeah. You know what I hate? I hate kids and everyone who has them. Okay.
Yeah, Roger, we don't agree. We just disagree.
So,
yes. So the different doors they're knocking
they're
on?
going door to door. They're met with varying degrees of hostility. Joseph is talking to him about wanting to marry his fiance at the temple, but it's a bit expensive. So, is that a big deal, Brian? Marrying at the temple?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know about the price and those kinds of things. I know that it can be expensive and it is very hard to get a reservation in Salt Lake in particular. But if you are from Salt Lake, that is like the thing that you do. A number of family members have been married in the Salt Lake Temple and that kind of thing. If you're looking for a good temple to get married in, folks, don't sleep on the Laie, Hawaii temple. Beautiful beachside, and there are hotels nearby.
Nice.
I'd say,
anyways,
I'd say I believe in anything if they'd fly me to Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's the one temple. Of all the temples as a kid, it was the one that I liked because it didn't look like a Mormon temple. It looked like a fucking cool place to hang out. I'm sure it's just as boring as the other ones, though. But getting married in the temple is the thing that you do. You get sealed. There's all kinds of stuff that Mormon temples are functioning places where they do a lot of like ordinances and things.
I went to a baptism once at a Mormon temple.
That was probably at a Mormon chapel.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah,
chapel. Yes,
the temples themselves, the big white buildings are I don't want to say similar to like a Jewish temple in that sense, but like where you are doing stuff kind of behind a curtain.
Just was that Morris, Josh?
No, Carol was her name.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. The whole baptism by immersion thing is
Morris was born.
It's interesting to watch.
I mean, he was baptized, but Morris was full. He went on a mission.
I just remember.
I think all our brothers did.
I remember being outside for something for Morris, and then like no, you guys can't come in.
Oh yeah.
At like temple, I went to a friend's wedding and we all hung out outside and smoked cigarettes. We're like, well, this is cold. We were like up in Utah in the wintertime outside this big stone building, just a bunch of hoodlums smoking cigarettes in the parking lot.
Yeah. Hanging around church?
Yeah. So their door-to-door mission is intercut with a porno being shot. It's about a superhero named Orgazmo who fights the evil Jizz Master Zero. He has a weapon called the Orgasmerator that gives people orgasms. Unfortunately, though, the actor playing Orgazmo is not as tough as the director would like.
Yeah.
So the Mormons ring the doorbell of the house the porno is being shot in, and Max Orbison, the director, tells his security team to beat them up.
He tells Bilbo.
Yeah. He says, cut their balls off.
Yeah, Bilbo.
No, but before that, Bilbo's like, some guys from Jesus?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So the original Orgazmo, who got his finger jammed. The actor's name is Ken Merckx. It's weird. It's got a C, K, and a Z at the end of his name. He's got He has 26 Power Rangers credits.
Woo! And what
so
can he
he's
spend?
Doing really good in the tournament. Then.
What can he spend those on?
Yeah, exactly.
Not much. Not much.
Very many credits.
You really need 30 Power Rangers credits to get anything at the Power Rangers bar.
Yeah, just get you like one of those little sticks of gum or something.
Right.
Dave and Buster's.
It's got Zord's face on it though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Zordon. I don't remember the guy's name.
Get one of those little balsa wood airplanes.
Yeah, that only costs $25.
I've spent 3 weekends here to get this.
He was not in the Power Rangers movie that we watched.
So are these even real Power Ranger tokens or credits?
Oh,
no, he said credits as in that. Those are the movies he's been.
It's not even from the movie.
Yeah.
Acting appearances.
He was in 25 Power Rangers things. I don't know what those are.
Power Ranger
shows, movies.
That's what we were wondering.
Yeah,
like little
TV movies.
Yeah.
Power Ranger coins.
He was in those.
So the unimportant Mormon runs away out of the film forever, but Joseph Young,
which is not the purpose of the buddy system.
Running out of a movie.
He runs out of the fucking movie.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, never to be seen again.
He's done.
Companion is the world.
He does run out of the... Oh, wow. Okay. Normal Mormon. Or a Mormon Norman.
Yeah, which I imagine there's two of them for a reason. Which is...
Oh, they always go in pairs, right?
Yeah. Probably for safety.
Safety. Yeah, hell yeah.
And emotional support.
Yes.
Well, just think about the population and the diversity in this country and think about how many people would not be excited to see a white guy in a white shirt and a black tie standing at their door.
Right.
Yeah. I bet they got beat up a lot at first.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, buddy systems. And then he runs off the movie.
Joseph Young is unexpectedly tough and knows martial arts, and he kicks all their asses in a send-up of 1970s martial arts films.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Suddenly the dub gets all off and everything.
And it's funny because this guy's like, more guards, more guards.
Right. It's like
you find out he's an organized crime boss, but guards? He was just making a porn movie. It seemed pretty safe and run of the mill.
Right.
Well, and do they work for the same company as Bilbo? Because they don't seem to.
Yeah, they're all union because it's Hollywood.
They had different jackets.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
from
the
Bilbo.
other band of hoodlums had a different.
Bilbo didn't have a jacket. He just had the
shirt, like a yellow.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's because he was the manager. He might have been the manager.
Yeah.
True. Or he was the guy from the agency, just to see that those guys were actually working.
Right. Yeah. Does the Popeyes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop-ins.
Okay, so I tried to look up Bilbo on IMDb, and I couldn't.
The famous little dwarf character.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Well,
March through the Shire.
A little hobbit named Bilbo.
Leonard Nimoy could sing to you.
I couldn't find this actor on IMDb.
It's Michael McDonald, the singer. He looks just like him, actually.
Yeah, with his long hair and his beard.
He also looks like
gigantic.
He looks a lot like the dude that was the big tough guy in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Ogre.
Yeah, Ogre.
Yeah, he looks like a burly.
He kind of looks
people
like
I've met
him,
in real life.
I don't think he's the same guy. I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't find his acting credit on this.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to have much, which is why I didn't include him.
We will never forget you, Bilbo.
Yeah.
We'll never forget you.
Goodbye, Bilbo.
I hope it all worked out.
Goodbye, Bilbo Baggins.
He kind of looks like Mankind, the wrestler, actually.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm going to have to cut off your balls now.
Yep.
So
yeah, he's so matter of fact. I'm gonna have to cut off your balls now.
So Max is impressed by Joseph Young's feats, offers him the role of Orgazmo, but Joseph isn't interested, due to being Mormon and all. But he's tempted when Max offers him $20,000. He goes home to think about it.
And Pop-Tarts or Happy Tarts?
Yeah, they're called Happy Tarts.
Was this movie somehow sponsored by a blossoming pastry brand?
It was just, I think it was just like an inside joke that they put in because, like, if you notice, like in the party scene later, there's people carrying around silver platters of Pop-Tarts.
Silver platters. They're still in the box. They're not arranged in any. Yeah.
I think it was just.
I think it was just an idiosyncratic. Yeah, like that's just their little.
They were poking fun at the corporate sponsorship without being able to get one, I guess.
Yeah, something like yeah.
Kind of like Dana Carvey with his mug root beer Dana Carvey show. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Yeah.
He would just do a different sponsor every day or every show because they would lose the sponsor from the week before.
Yeah. The Taco Bell, Pepsi, Dana Carvey show.
Taco Bell.
That had an insane team of writers.
Oh my God! Yeah. It was crazy.
And actors, actually.
I will pull up Carell and Colbert videos from that and just watch them all the time. So good.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's worth pointing out that the original Orgazmo was making $300 for this shoot, and Max Orbison offered Joe $20,000.
Right. Yeah. There's a little bit of a bump up there.
They worked their way up to it.
Yes. Yeah. There's some haggling going on.
That's right.
I don't want to minimize
the
What's that?
Well, that man made the investment in the young actor's career. He made an incredible investment. It's the fourth most popular movie of all time.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Definitely worth the $20,000.
It actually ended up being the third.
Right.
Yeah. So,
thinking about it that way, I was like, well, it's worth the 300 or the huge markup on the investment.
Absolutely.
Max Orbison knew what he was doing. He knows talent when he sees it.
He may be evil, but he is savvy.
He's not entirely unredeemable. He can see talent.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That night, Joseph Young calls Lisa his fiance, tells her he was offered the part, but says it was for death of a salesman. She's very excited about the money, so Joe decides to do it.
It's like, I don't know if he just like, that's the first thing that came to mind, or he's like, oh, she won't know much about that. But yeah, fantastic that she has so many follow-up questions and continues to.
Their relationship is my favorite part of this entire movie.
It's so charming.
The humor between the two of them is the best part, I think.
She's solid gold.
There were a number of
Mormon
times
lady
where I laughed at like the sex gags, but this stuff, I mean, I was fucking like split in half laughing so hard just at his face and his discomfort and all that.
Her scream even makes me laugh.
Oh God, yeah.
Jesus and I love you, Joe.
Jesus and I love you.
Yeah. And just her unstoppable cheerfulness.
Well, I mean, not to get in too much to it, but men who go on missions and that leave a girl behind. There's this whole thing of like, they write you letters, and oftentimes you get a Dear John letter, unknown, like being at war, where your beloved found some other dude who just got back from her mission. So that was it.
She's like, you figuratively lost your legs, so I can't do it.
But it was interesting seeing that element of it and how giddy she was. I was curious. I was like, where's this going to wind up? How are they going to do this? And yeah, I was very pleased. It was fun.
She's just excited about her destination wedding in Salt Lake City.
The temple.
Where I think she's calling from?
What's that? Oh,
she's calling in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, so like she could go whenever she wants.
Yeah.
It's the getting married that really.
But
really
I know. Yeah,
it's renting the temple.
Yeah. And I love her line. Okay, perfect line. She's like, well, Joe, you know what? I think the Lord knows that you need money.
Yeah. Her practicality in that line was like,
yes, that should sum it up for any believer. Like, well, God knows.
Yeah.
He's cool. Go ahead.
That works in mysterious ways. It's fine.
Doesn't he work in his suit? Apparently not.
Let's just apologize and not ask for permission.
Well, then he immediately give me a sign.
Oh yeah, and then the earthquake.
The sign, which was another thing.
He asks his idol of Jesus,
his little statue of Jesus,
any kind of sign,
any sign at all,
any sign at all.
Mormons don't pray to images of Jesus. That was the weird thing about it. They don't wear crosses.
They don't practice Santeria.
They also don't practice not all of them. Occasionally, a Mormon will practice.
Well, yeah, I know they're not into the idolatry.
It's more of the Creole Mormons will practice.
The Creole. Yeah,
you better tithe 10%. I guarantee.
Integrating themselves into other belief systems and then bumping them out, which is there are books to be written about its colonial expertise in that way. But anyways,
So the next day, Joe Young shows up on set and meets Ben, one of his co-stars that plays his sidekick Choda Boy. Ben's also
Choda
Boy. Ben's also an amateur inventor who went to MIT. I love that. That is the perfect, it's in Boston? No, Cambridge, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone that went to Harvard would do that.
Yeah.
He's not an amateur inventor. He's got PhDs in physics and engineering.
And dozens of patents.
Hundreds of patents. Nice house and his Buick Century.
Yeah, he's making all his money off of patents.
Yeah, he's just
doing the porn for the
entire
sex
movie.
Yeah, he's
which is totally plausible.
Yeah, he's living the life.
He's doing it for the sex. That made so much sense.
Yeah,
none of it was contrived suddenly. At first, it was the porn stars is an MIT professor.
Yeah,
that explained it. God.
Yeah,
very well done.
He has an overactive sex drive, and for some reason, the ladies don't take him seriously.
Yeah.
He has the best the dildo helmet that Choda Boy wears.
Yes,
it's my favorite piece of costuming
every time, man.
Well, and there's also a sort of Ivan Costello type joke here that I love while Joe's getting dressed. It's I wonder what plan Heavenly Father has for you.
Who?
You.
Who?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really the naming of God as Heavenly Father is such a Mormon thing to do, and it cracks me up because that was one of the very present throughout the entire movie, him talking about Heavenly Father. I'm like, oh,
that's how I always heard him referred by my Mormon friends. In that context.
Yeah. This is interesting.
When he was around.
Right. Before he was stepped out for cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's I'll be back.
He was Heavenly Father when he was around.
Yeah. When he wasn't, he was
G-Dog.
So Joe gets into his costume. He's given the stage name of Tom Hung and films his
Shave Your Balls.
What rhymes with young? Oh yeah, shave your balls.
Shave your balls.
Ben says all male actors shave their balls, and I just thought Gregory Peck, George Kennedy, Charles Bronson.
I thought
all male actors.
I was thinking, do the female actors shave their balls?
They shave each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Balls.
It's hard to see.
Yeah. He taps out when it's time for the sex, although he still has to have some physical contact with the ladies.
Safi takes a moment to explain penetration to Joe.
Yes. Yeah. I got the feeling he was actually learning at that moment.
Yes.
It was educational for him.
And you're right, Josh, gingerly. It's
so you want delicate.
He was very delicate about the situation.
Yeah,
honestly,
she's the most maternal character.
With the exception of what was her name, Ginger in the movie, the blonde.
Safi.
They were so funny and just subtle. There were a lot of moments where I was just they didn't take full advantage of having porn stars as actors. Yeah. They could have had them doing all kinds of absurd shit, I'm sure.
But the best porn actors are the ones that have a sense of humor about it. For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. Just a shout out to Safi, the actress Julie Ashton. Just a reminder.
Shout out
for our
to Julie.
listeners. Shout out to Julie Ashton
on this Mother's Day. Just don't forget.
She might be a mother by now.
She might. She was certainly a potential.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Having a womb and all, yes. She was.
Julie Ashton, aka Safi, in this movie was just great throughout.
AKA Little Dino, AKA Black.
She became the lightning rod, I think, for a lot of the female humor of like making the women be ditzy or stupid, that kind of thing. She acted all of those roles herself.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Which is fine, whatever. I'm not to say that it's like the best thing, but it was funny every time that she was walking into stuff and bouncing off of them. The doctor says, "I'm 80% silicon."
No. The one that was bouncing off of stuff was
fuck,
Toddy. What's her name?
Her real name was Toddy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, she was an acting friend of theirs. She wasn't.
That's who got all the stupid stuff and all this.
Yes, she was the one that was treated ditzy and bimbo-y.
Yeah,
because she was playing a role. They didn't treat the female porn actresses that way.
Julie Ashton, an actual porn actress who was playing Safi, she was actually portrayed as kind of smart, and empowered.
Yeah, like I'm not doing any ass licking today.
I'm not an ass licker
today.
Yeah, I'm not an ass licker.
It looked like she was having a lot of fun playing that role too, of being
the
kind
whole
of
place was fun. Yeah,
just above the his personality got the shine.
Yeah,
I lost you.
We lost you there for a sec, Brian.
Oh no, I was just saying it was great that she got above her her porn star personality, where she's just like someone to look at on screen. She got to actually act out an actual personality with thoughts and
she had punchlines.
And also way back when she first took her top off, we were introduced to the first male ass shot.
That got a huge laugh from me, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was
when you mention it that she's like a porn actress. I'm sure that if you were watching this movie, you were thinking, "Oh, we're going to see boobs now. Here we go."
No,
bam.
That's how every Skinamax movie ever.
So good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we got about a second and a half of boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
And then an ass gets
and then close up of the male ass.
Yep.
Lest we forget.
Yep. So Joe tries to share the Book of Mormon with the cast and crew, although they don't seem to take him seriously. What with the DVD?
Wait, I'm sorry. They introduced Dave, Matt Stone's character.
Yes.
But I love that he turns to either the guy holding the boom. I don't know. But anyways, he's like, "Man, look at that." He's like telling
he's so enthusiastic about everything.
He's so
like
excited.
Everyone is looking at it.
Say Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
Who's Geddy Lee?
Geddy Lee, best bass player of all time. Geddy Lee. After work, Joe and some of the girls in Bang go out for some sushi. Joe meets G-Fresh, the owner of the establishment. Then some thugs from the dance club next door show up and demand that G-Fresh sell his place to their boss. He refuses. They bust the place up, telling him they'll return later to finish the job.
This sushi joint is the grossest place ever. Mm-hmm. There is just shrimp on pieces of lettuce on ice sitting everywhere.
Right. Well, later on, there's broken glass.
They're just eating off of it.
Still making the sushi.
All right. So the three thugs were Jimmy the Fish, Tommy the Shark, and Randy the Guppy.
Yep.
And the guy who played Randy the Guppy, his name was Desi Singh. He was the guy that was. He does well. I don't know. Not in this. In this, he snaps the toothpicks.
Yeah.
He's the guy snapping the toothpicks.
So funny.
So that actor was in Batman Returns as the clown with the flaming crossbow.
Oh, wow.
I remember that clown.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But so anyways, that's the scene that's the same as Toxie 1. You know what I mean? Where you see the hoodlums one by one.
Yeah.
And they're, So when you
shit.
put that contrast, so Trey was obviously, it was intentional.
Yeah.
With the contrast of the terrible things like the shotgun to the kid's face,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. And you contrast that with the toothpicks being broken and the big like ceramic kitty cats that they have in
The good luck cats. Those are good luck.
the good luck cats.
Good luck,
Right?
yeah.
It was just great. In contrast.
So,
I wonder if Lloyd's like,
That's how it should have been.
that's what I did.
The next
The
day.
karaoke song in the background is bonkers. Does anybody, pick up on that?
yeah.
Was it
And Turtles and New Mexico and Patrick Duffy and
I had subtitles on it. I was reading that like, what what's going on?
Turtles in New Mexico and Patrick Duffy.
The next day, they film another scene. Then after work, Joe goes over to Ben's place. Ben tells him about how he won't do hamster-style martial arts anymore.
Wait, which is hilarious. But hold on, did we jump over DVDA?
I mentioned it briefly, but
that was just before the
sushi bar.
sushi scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, DVD. You got to do DVDA.
You got it.
DVDA.
So what's that? The Book of Mormon. Is it any good? That she immediately jumps to.
So a soundtrack note. The theme song to to this movie was performed by DVDA.
That's the name of the band.
Huh.
That's the name of the band. Yeah.
Trey is singing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's the credit goes to DVDA.
I bet you get
Oh man!
I bet you get another paycheck
Yeah. I bet you do.
as a band contributing to the soundtrack.
Yeah, I bet you do. Okay, so he tells him how he won't do hamster-style martial arts anymore. Then he shows him the real-life orgasmerator he built in the basement.
The flashback to the hamster stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna do hamster style anymore. That's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
This dad who looks like Robert Schmeigel, but is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still smell the newspaper.
That was a hard one for me.
It's funny because on the later flashback, it's not the kid actor in the scene anymore. It's actually him.
With the giant bowl and the giant spoon.
Giant bowl and spoon, yeah.
That's nice.
So they test out the orgasmerator on each other. Then Ben convinces Joe to go out and have some fun. They orgasmerate some girls, a couple rabbis, Dave from work, and a cop.
Well, to the song, the fun montage song. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Back in his lab, they have a laugh because he says it could probably be more compact if he used cold fusion instead of the fission device.
Right.
But if I could figure out cold fusion, I'd be a millionaire.
So the next day, Joe films the final scene of the movie with a rather rotund co-star known as T-Rex.
With the voiceover.
The Cartman voice, yeah.
The Proto Cartman.
Oh, man.
That was a little rough, that scene.
It was.
Yeah. Afterwards, they take some publicity shots. Then we get a montage.
Geddy Lee, best bass player ever.
Yeah.
Geddy Lee.
First, there's the videos being packaged. Then the movie making it into theaters. It becomes a crossover hit with action figures, making a ton of money for Max Orbison. He does not Entertainment Tonight, but I'm sure that's clearly supposed to be. However, Joe still hasn't gotten paid.
I think he was lying.
Orgazmo was,
I don't know.
Orgazmo was number 3 in the highest grossing films, just below Star Wars and Jurassic Park.
And just above E.T.
Just above E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So Titanic doesn't exist in this universe.
No.
It wasn't.
Mostly are movies by their good friend Steven Spielberg.
Well, no. Titanic wouldn't come out for another 3 months after this movie was released.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
That's why this one did so poorly. Have two
Yeah.
Titanic movies out at the same time.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone who was going to go see this went to see Titanic instead.
My grandmother took me to see Titanic.
Yeah.
There were some awkward moments in that movie. Not this. No, I don't think she knew of it. I'm sure it played somewhere in Yuma.
Do you think your grandma ever said, "Paint me like your French girls, Jack"?
Oh man, I think that my grandma and I both blacked that memory out for years
because it was so boring. I love that there's a quick scene of the AVN, the Adult Video Network, awards.
Yeah,
and it looks like it was filmed at the I don't think that was staged.
No, I think they actually just went there.
That janky.
Yeah.
The way he looks on stage is so funny. Just so stressed for being there.
But he gets thrown on stage.
Yeah.
Mr.
Dirk Diggler.
A while later, Max throws a party and Joe shows up to demand his money. Meanwhile, at G-Fresh... Yeah.
Wait, is that the party with Los Naked Mariachi?
Yes, Los Naked Mariachi.
Oh, yeah.
And Dave has his...
So funny.
I don't know, but I think these guys sound a little like Depeche Mode.
I think Depeche Mode is a kick-ass band.
Which that's fair. But
so my Spanish is terrible, but they were saying something about having small dicks and then having big dicks. That was the content of the song. Something about their verga, their mast. I don't know. It's funny.
Might as well talk about it.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Got our own in front of
it's cold. Can I get my pants back?
Meanwhile, at G-Fresh's sushi bar, the thugs show back up and beat him with a baseball bat, leaving a small scratch on his face.
He said, "You better check yourself." Go ahead.
He finally signs. Yeah, go ahead, Al.
Oh no! I was just laughing about the small scratch on his face after they beat him repeatedly with the bat.
Yeah.
And
that was.
And throw him into the wall and smash him into the glass.
Mm-hmm.
He's still like, "Yo, mama."
And he walks away with a small scratch on his face.
Homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that.
Yeah, he finally signs a contract selling his sushi bar to the owner of the club next door.
Contract.
Yeah, the contract.
They seem like paperwork is so important to them for a little while.
Yeah. Back at the party, Max gives Joe his money finally, but convinces him to do the sequel by doubling his pay. Then Max announces to the crowd that they're going to shoot Orgazmo 2.
And then he has to make his BS up about
Death of a Salesman. Yeah, Death of a Salesman.
God, that was my favorite joke in this whole movie.
It is clear that she knows way more about the play than he does.
Yeah.
Well, you think that?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kill himself?
Oh, yeah. It's revenge. Because because Biff was smelling smack on the side and
to Nazis.
To Nazis. All of a sudden, it's Midnight Express,
right? But he's clearly never seen Death of a Salesman, and she clearly
no, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, he studied theater at BYU. That's the thing too.
Oh yeah.
And still hasn't seen Death of a Salesman.
More red.
Later, she is very excited about the money. Then later, they begin shooting the sequel, and Joe meets the actor playing Neutered Man, Orgazmo's new arch enemy.
A-Cup.
His name is A-Cup.
Yeah. A-Cup.
No, not his stage name.
No, it's not. And he does that weird, T-Rex walking thing.
Yes. So weird.
So weird.
And he's little. Little guy. Yeah. And the way he delivers
farts
that walks by
to people.
Yeah, he keeps grabbing farts.
Handing someone a fart.
I remember kids doing that, and man,
I did it a few times after this, and I was not a kid.
I was a little disappointed that this actor did not have more credits to his name.
I know.
I thought he did really well in this part.
I'm surprised he didn't take this part on the road as like a one-man show.
Right.
Like Kick Kilmer's
cafes around the country, just fart in people's faces, trying to fight him karate style.
And then God said A cup.
The A cup monologue, the neuter. All right.
Yeah. So, Joe and Ben go to G-Fresh's and discover what happened to him. Ben convinces Joe to wear disguises and use the Orgasmorator, Ben's sex weapons, and their martial arts skills to go into the club and get the contract that G-Fresh signed back from the thugs.
The contract?
Yeah, they just need the contract.
So official. Like, they bust in with their notary.
It's so trauma. It's just like, there's a contract. You've got to get the gangsters in their contract.
Right.
All they needed is that piece of paper.
That's all they needed. And it was right there on top.
Signature, man. Bam, it's over.
Yeah,
they're ruthless, but they're sticklers for paperwork.
So that night they dress up and go to the club. I love how he's wearing that thing on his arm, but he's getting patted down.
I know.
And he's got the latex suit, but he also has the white shirt that then ripped off the sleeve.
Yeah.
So he still has the original shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he ripped off the sleeve. He's wearing the white shirt over the latex suit.
The purple, the dark purple, like one piece. What is that thing? Like a unitard?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I want one of those.
But also the way that they like get patted down, just it was so hilarious because Choda Boy has all the tools around his belt.
All the
dildos around his
orgasm ray off his arm.
You're cool.
It's also a funny joke on bouncers because that's exactly how bouncers are. They wield their power arbitrarily and like checkpoint guards.
You have this giant fission
security
device
theater
on your arm. You're cool.
Yeah. Go ahead on it. Cool. Yeah, so they break into the back room at the club, which looked like a high school prom, like the ballroom they were in.
It also reminded me, though, maybe it was their leather leotards or vinyl leotards, but of the scene in The Dark Knight where Batman breaks into the nightclub to get Eric Roberts.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
Where it's like music and techno and like lights flashing and Batman.
So they break in, they beat up the club guys, take back the contract, making their escape. Ben's amped up from their adventure, but now Joe just wants to leave town and go back to Utah.
Yep.
The sound that Ray makes drives me crazy.
Oh yes.
Oh,
it's like
okay. I was wondering if Al was going to bring. Yeah.
It's like
Well, yeah. So there's like the sound that the actual Ray makes.
Yes,
but,
and I know what Brian's talking about. Yeah.
Just the sound.
On the porn set, he's like, meow, 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 meow.
I can't believe we haven't brought that up. But just the sound. Every time that he uses the Ray, because he shoots that guy a couple of times. Click.
I meant to bring it up so long ago, but yes.
Yeah.
I still use meow. I do that as an exclamation or as
And Trey Parker is making it with his mouth. It's not a sound effect.
It's like Laura Dern doing
Joe
you
brought
in
to the set.
Last Jedi.
Yeah, well, and if you watch the
like Ewan McGregor,
and if you watch Ewan
McGregor too.
Yeah, no, but if you watch when they're showing the actual film, they didn't put any special effects or sound effects over that. They left him saying meow in.
Just him saying meow.
And that made it to the third biggest movie of all time.
Of course it did. It's just so honest. It's refreshing.
No, that's how you make a tight, inexpensive movie.
Yeah.
Good for Trey Park.
If your actors do the sound effects.
Do you want us to dub anything over that? No.
That's fine.
That's the sound it makes. That's what Joe Young came up with.
What do you mean edited in post?
Yeah.
What's post?
It's a bad kitty.
We're filming the movie chronologically on this one camera. It's porn, baby.
It's porn, baby. It's Chinatown.
It's porn down.
Like, there's no editing room. It's just him filming the movie the whole time.
Yeah, no, they're just filming. He just pauses and then they go to the next shot.
There's no cutting room floor. It's just the living room.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts. So many Pop-Tarts.
Right, so where are we?
Joe arrives home and finds Lisa has arrived for a surprise visit. She wants to visit him on set, but he makes excuses why she can't.
His scream.
Yeah. Throws the and then she's at a video store.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the next day we're on set and ACAP harasses an actress. He and Joe get into a fight, but it's broken up before it can get serious. We're also introduced to Choda Dog.
Well, and don't forget, she moved in with him and is sleeping on the couch. But even that is a huge, he tried to use that to get her to not stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Heavenly Father would know.
I just want to flash back really briefly to the end of the bar scene where the goons run out and who was it? Jimmy the Fish shouts curses.
Oh yeah.
And
curses.
Then Tommy the Shark is like, curses?
Yeah.
Curses?
I would like to point out that only 2 years ago in our chronology here, in The Phantom, they actually had someone say curses in all seriousness.
Yes, I remember.
But also this year in Batman and Robin,
that's right.
Poison Ivy said curses in all seriousness.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that one.
Was anything in all seriousness in that movie?
Maybe semi-seriousness.
Yeah.
Well, they all went to the Snagglepuss School of Acting. It's very prestigious.
Stage left. Stage right even.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
I'm pretty sure that's where Skeletor also went.
Yes. He was always cursing too. Yeah.
Meow. Meow.
Meow.
It's a fine line between Skeletor and Chief Wiggum.
All right, we're doing well.
So, meanwhile, then Lisa is perusing a local video store and Orgazmo is playing. She discovers Joe's secret.
Did anyone notice the shelf that said classics?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all trauma.
All trauma, yep.
The shelf of Jesus movies.
I'm sorry, fellas. We're trauma fans now. I don't know if you like it or not.
Yeah. There was a ton of Toxic Avenger,
but I'm trained to look for it now.
Exactly.
The poster. There was a Toxic poster in the movie store.
I was being groomed by Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh God!
All of a sudden, we're all going to be
to notice
right to Lloyd.
The movies on the shelf that she was perusing was that they were Jesus Scissorhands, Pulp Jesus,
with Jesus holding a gun next to
Pulp Jesus, The Good, the Bad, the Jesus.
That one's good.
Raging Jesus, starring Robert Nidiro.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I found myself. Not
De Niro.
Yeah.
De Niro.
I found myself wishing it had been Edward Jesus Hands. He just has Jesus on each hand.
You can call me Homer Fingerhands.
Just Jesus on all the fingers.
A little Jesus.
Jesus all the way up, man.
Okay.
I don't know. Jesus Scissorhands is pretty intense, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you better agree.
I mean, the Bible would have turned out way different if he'd had scissor hands.
I hear he's going to have them when he comes back on the reunion tour. He might have scissor hands.
So,
yeah.
On the recycler door.
Would definitely get people's attention, needless to say. Go viral real quick.
Yeah. He's definitely. Who knows if he get attention?
we are really alienating a certain section of our audience. Anyways.
I think they're calling that the Revelation Tour.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, it's back on set. They're shooting the next scene. But Max doesn't think Choda Boy's cock rocket makes a big enough explosion. Then,
not like his harpoon tank.
Right. Harpoon tank. On his way out, Ben sees the thugs from the club and realizes they work for Max. They're all eating Pop-Tarts.
Like badasses do. Remember that in Training Day?
Denzel Washington eating Pop-Tarts the whole film.
Everyone's eating Pop-Tarts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, I want to bounce back to the video store. It was the second time that they made a Utah joke.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Because she says, "What movie is this? What, have you been living in a cardboard box?" "No, I'm from Utah." Oh, I'm sorry.
So one of the porn actresses does it too, and she does it really earnestly.
Yeah. Julie Ashton, Safi does it earlier.
Utah is, I think, the only state in the union that has a censor. So there is a human being that has to okay every single piece of pornographic work.
Yeah, and they're fucking 2% beer.
Wow.
Yeah, and they also sell their liquor in state liquor stores. It's a very interesting place. So there are a lot of places. You go across the border to Wyoming or to Nevada or to Colorado, and you buy your real crazy porno there. You know, if you're into.
I think it's perfect.
Horses with
I think more certain sects of our society should choose a state and go set up camp and do whatever they want. Like, whatever the Mormons do in Utah does not affect me. Have at it.
Yeah. Well, Salt Lake is a very interesting place because it's incredibly liberal compared to the rest of the state.
And that's going to happen in a large city.
Yeah.
Any place there's a strong culture, there's a strong counterculture.
Absolutely. Right. So
good for the Mormons. Keep it.
Yeah.
Joe,
Utah's a beautiful place.
Yeah. No, it is. Moab is.
Yeah, for real.
Yes.
It's a place in Utah.
Provo.
Yeah.
What are you from?
I know exactly what's his name.
What are you from, Iowa? No, Utah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
So Joe arrives home to find Lisa watching Orgazmo and crying. She wants him to quit, but he wants to finish the movie. They fight and she leaves. We're introduced to Sancho, who's auditioning for Max.
I'm glad this scene was stuck in the movie.
I know, because Sancho really has no impact on any plot in any way whatsoever.
He brings back, he does a callback for his own joke later, but no,
he's the resolution for Matt Stone's character.
Yes,
really.
That's right. They finally,
he's the gift.
Yeah,
that's
right.
So Joe arrives, telling him he wants to leave and return to Utah. Max explodes, threatening to kill him if he doesn't complete the movie. Joe refuses and leaves.
Not even Scott Baio is Sancho.
Not even
Scott Baio is Sancho.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah. Later,
Crouchy's a conservative nut now, isn't he?
Oh yeah. He's
he spoke at like our Republican National Convention and
he did. That's right.
2016. Yeah.
Chachi in charge.
Frank Gifford. He is not Sancho.
He is not.
Frank Gifford is not Sancho. The names we had to know.
Right.
Is that Kathy Lee Gifford's husband?
Yes.
That's hilarious. I bet. I think he's not doing well. He's so old now. But yeah, that's so hilarious that now he's known that way.
Yeah, that's how I know it.
She was known as football legend Frank Gifford.
I grew up with Kathy Lee Gifford in my house. And I was
So did I.
that's Kathy Lee Gifford's husband that he's making that joke
I
about.
used to watch Reach every morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Regis and Kathy Lee. Yeah. Now it's
all my sick days. That was my life.
There's no way to wake up other than having a little crewman yell at you. You recorded it.
I love Liam Neeson.
Be like, and they come around the corner, and they're not wearing any shoes.
I hate pain.
Wow, Thoreau, that was fantastic.
Right.
Later, upon returning to Joe's, Lisa is kidnapped by Max. Joe?
Apparently contracts don't matter.
Right. Joe heads to Ben's house to say goodbye, and Ben tells him that Orbison is behind the attack on G-Fresh. He wants Joe to help him stop Orbison, but Joe refuses. He returns home.
I'm not a superhero. I'm a Latter-day Saint.
Right. He returns.
I just want to be a Mormon Norman.
Normal Mormon.
A Mormon Norman. Is this where he shoots the dog and then they find out? Oh no, that's at the. That's it.
Oh yeah, later on. Yeah. So okay, yeah. So Joe returns home to a phone call from Orbison informing him that he's kidnapped Lisa and they'll kill her if Joe doesn't complete the film.
In the meantime, to kill time, they're forcing her to be in pornography.
Yeah, exactly.
Leverage.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, super gross. Joe suits up, heads to Ben's house to get the Orgazmo Raider. He's ready to get Lisa back.
The Orgazmo Raider.
Orbison took my cupcake.
Yeah. They hop in the Buick Century.
Yes. Joe, there's a scene where they're like rocking out to the choir music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Joe.
Oh, wait. I love the scene where they're talking about the equal degradation of men and women in pornographic films.
Yes.
Their woke debate.
Yeah. Therefore, it degrades people.
Men are equally degraded in pornographic films.
Yeah.
The men are always in a position of power. The men are the ones who want the product so bad.
They're the victims. Yeah. Hot take.
Yeah, right.
I think the ladies get the ass end of it.
Yeah. Quite literally sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was interesting. I don't know. There's a whole lot of changed thought in that direction. Now, Mormon Church is super against pornography in that sense of like it being a thing, an addictive substance almost, and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was an interesting point that Ron Jeremy made. I was like, oh, fuck, Ron Jeremy. Okay.
And
no,
honestly,
it was a great little,
and it is honestly super woke for 1997.
Yeah, exactly. That,
and I don't know if it still is, but Utah just a few years ago was like the #1 consumer of online pornography.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, conservative.
You can't buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
Hence, it exploits people.
Yes. Hence.
This grand.
Yeah, and just that general realization at the end. Yeah. It was
important.
An interesting moment.
Because, like we said earlier, I don't think Trey Parker was being exploitative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the backdrop of this tale, pornography.
Right. He showed far more male asses than any titties.
Yeah, no, I literally had a second and a half of boobs, and that's it for the whole movie.
Well, and I think there were serious attempts at showing the humanity of people who were in these professions too, while using some people as props and villains, of course. But like the humanity of the female actresses was an interesting thing to me. I was like, "Fuck, man, that's woke as fuck."
That's right. It was
in that sense. Not that the whole movie,
like Alanis Morissette wrote it.
Yeah.
it's like rain on your wedding day. So
it's not ironic.
Okay, so Joe and Ben arrive at Max's house. They get past the dog, and then
yeah, I just gotta say the dog orgasm is a myth.
Whoa.
We don't even know if it exists.
Oh man, that wasn't even a question.
I was waiting to see that with you.
That dog. That's fucked up.
But then Bilbo answers the door and immediately starts laughing his ass off.
I know. Well, just the way Matt Stone's standing there staring blankly ahead.
Right, yeah.
You have to wear the latex.
Yeah, it's because it won't stain.
He wouldn't want anyone there to know who he is.
It's the only suit that fit him right then.
That's true. He can only take one vinyl suit on his mission.
You're issued one official vinyl suit by the church.
One bodysuit, one regular suit, white shirt, like that. Vinyl unitard.
One vinyl unitard per person. Exit to your left, please.
Yeah, I wish they dropped Mormon missionaries out of planes like paratroopers.
You just look.
All right, we're somewhere in Thailand.
They like ride
Don't
a bicycle.
Like the Wicked Witch of the West. That's right.
Oh man!
There's like, oh no, it's drop day. The Mormons are coming.
I survived the Mormon Blitz.
My God.
The Mormon Blitz.
The Mormon Blitz.
All right, so
keep a stiff upper lip. The Mormons will see it. So they enter the house. They beat up Bilbo. They beat up Max's security and his porn actors who attack them. They zap Sancho.
The way that they kick in Ron Jeremy's face was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was the trauma moment for sure.
Yeah, that was the trauma moment. The porcelain model of Ron Jeremy's
like
face, kicking
Gallagher with a watermelon.
Yeah,
but it wasn't shade.
But then in the next shot, he's fine.
Yeah,
in the next shot, he's fine.
So that ruined it for me.
On IMDb, they claimed that as a goof, but I think that was an intentional goof.
Oh,
yeah. A goof, as a goof or a goof?
As
no.
What? Okay.
Okay. So they show up and they fight some crew members, like the boom operator. Like, were they hired to fight, or like because he's using the actual boom as like staff?
Like a Jackie Chan stunt. He's like, I'll just take this.
Dude knows how to use a boom.
Yeah,
it's true.
And
years
then
of experience.
And then they have to fight A-Cup. A-Cup takes Joe down, but then Ben defeats him with hamster style.
Use your hamster style. No, I swore.
Serious Kung Pao vibes.
Yeah.
And turtles. Oh, turtles.
The turtle. Has anyone seen that clip of it was Will Arnett being interviewed for the Turtles 2014 by this guy that's wearing a green screen suit, and he's telling Will Arnett that that later on they're going to CG him into a turtle. And he's like pretending to do nunchucks, and he's like, "Now you pretend. We'll CG them in later." And Will Arnett's like,
"Oh my God,
are you sure you're going to do that? Because I don't want to look dumb." He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And Will Arnett does like nunchuck moves, and he's like, "You promise you're going to CG those in later?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. We'll see."
We'll see what we.
But
oh my God,
they don't CG in anything.
No, that's insane.
Yeah. So
So hamster style's pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's
chewing and biting.
Pretty much all off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Most of it. Except for him kind of chewing on his arm.
He really committed to the hamster style too. He really sold that.
It would have to be badass.
I couldn't look away, It was so.
Yeah. Well, because what's intense to think about is he probably gave it up. When he was a kid, he probably gave it up because he killed a dude.
Yeah, or another kid.
And then one day over cereal, decided, hey, I shouldn't kill people anymore as a 10-year-old.
Well, it went too far. He wasn't a murderer. He wasn't like the monkey on the dirt bike.
Well, but the thing is he doesn't even.
That's nice.
Yeah, the thing is he doesn't even know what he was. He doesn't know what he was running from all these years. Probably himself.
Probably himself. Yeah,
I love that he just cuts him off.
Brilliant.
Probably yourself. Just the
Yeah,
guy.
yourself. Yeah. Love that.
Why are you monologuing?
Yeah, no, we get it.
So Max holds a knife to Lisa's throat, and Joe realizes that the Orgasmorator has run out of batteries. Max monologues at him, and Choda Boy hooks an electrical line up to the Orgasmorator. Joe shoots him multiple times until he's unconscious and falls in the pool.
Hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Initially.
They free Lisa, tie up Max's cast and crew for the cops, and Ben uses his new improved cock rocket to blow up the mansion.
Yep.
That tiny little mansion model they kept cutting to.
Yeah.
That was another one of my favorite bits. I was just like, you guys know how bad this is.
Yeah.
Thank you for fucking just dwelling on this.
Yeah. Like you could accidentally get better houses in the frame in LA.
Yeah,
This.
I mean, they could have cut away.
Running the town.
They could have cut away from that after 3 seconds, and I would have been like, okay, sure. But they just kept going back and just
They kept establishing. Yeah.
dead horse.
I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think fire is very romantic.
Sancho brings it on home. He and Dave maybe are a love connection.
Yeah, totally. I
wish them the best.
Yeah, those crazy kids, I think, can make it work.
He could use an awakening, you know?
I just want to see
Sancho's the man for him.
Yeah,
to deliver that.
I just want to see a romantic comedy with Sancho and Dave.
Just running their B&B in Napa.
Yeah.
The Depeche Mode and Rush.
They'll call it balls to the wall.
Sancho's balls to the wall.
There are many Jeffs.
But there's only one Sancho. So, oh God, yeah. So, they leave as the cops arrive. Then sometime later, Joe and Lisa are packing up to head back to Utah. Ben shows up, and seeing how emotional he and Joe get, Lisa suggests they stay in L.A. to fight crime.
It's the family they made along the way.
That's right. Yeah. They celebrate with a prayer and a Jesus cameo.
No, a Jedi goes to Jesus.
Right.
Superheroes that pray together stay together.
It's true.
It was at this moment that I realized there are tons of Mormons in LA.
They're everywhere.
They look church and live in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, wait, this is fine. They could probably still be Mormon, too.
Yeah. Oh,
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Think about God. I hear,
He lives everywhere,
he's
right?
everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's like the Force.
You know,
kids think of him as the Force.
So in the midst of Joe's prayer, he says, may our decisions be rash.
Yeah, I saw that. I caught that.
May we do what's right, and God bless us.
Yeah.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah. They make Ben do the Tiny Tim line.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But it's funny.
It is. Then meanwhile, Max Orbison is seeing a doctor. He's told his pee-pee will be amputated, and he laughs as he contemplates his revenge.
Oh, and that was a little shout out to the first Batman.
Absolutely.
Movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
The mirror.
There will be a sequel.
And yes, it was sort of a call out to a sequel.
Yeah, totally.
I will be Neuter Man.
Yeah.
Well, both of the endings, like Joe and Ben left it open for a sequel, and so did Orbison. So Lloyd Kaufman, the Godfather of gross.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's at the end.
And that's it. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Orgazmo.
Live it.
Live it.
Man.
Now what you want now my own.
Yeah. It's
my own.
No, it's probably the titties.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Is it the way he fights every day?
No.
It's probably the titties.
Yeah, I like it. I guess it squeaks by with our criteria. I'm glad we did it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he saves his girlfriend. That's comic.
Well, no, I mean,
super.
Yeah, if they didn't, well, there's two scenes where they actually use actual powers of some sort to fight crime.
Right.
So,
well, I'm glad we did it. I haven't laughed in a while. It's been so long. So much anger. So much George Clooney ass.
What are you talking about? Kabuki Man was hilarious.
Billy Zane on a horse.
Oh, God.
Insane.
Yeah.
Buildings only Alec Baldwin can see.
Yeah.
Strange facial prosthetics. Yeah.
Come on, you laughed at those two.
Malborge.
I did, but not in a good way. Not like this.
Not in a way which the filmmakers intended. Yeah.
So, anyways,
yeah. So that actually brings us to where we should stick this thing up in the rankings.
Number 1.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa!
Also
number 1.
Okay, Al going all out. Brian,
are you guys really putting it at number 1? I was going to say put it by Blank Man or something.
He did something crazy, and I stood up behind him. That's how how the Spartacus thing goes.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I was just stand there looking like
throwing it at the wall.
The ranking.
All right, I'd put it in the top 5. I can't off the top of my head think, but I would put it in the top 5.
Okay,
it's one of my favorite movies that we've watched.
Wow. Okay. I was not looking that high personally, but let's have the discussion.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't want a discussion.
Yeah, that's great. No, number 1. This is my roommate's single favorite film of all time.
What are the top 3? Batman, Superman, and what?
Batman
Returns
at number 3.
So.
Okay, so it's not better than the first 2. What's number 4?
Number 4 is The Crow.
It's better than The Crow to me. I could put this movie on again right now and laugh at the same point. But if I don't see The Crow again, I'm solid.
So this is like a Swamp Thing situation?
Sure.
Yes.
Time we shook it up.
Totally a new Swamp
Thing. I'm into it.
Because Swamp Thing,
weird.
What is the Swamp Thing at?
The 96.
Swamp Thing's at number 6.
Yes.
Right now.
For some reason.
What's number 5?
Batman 66.
Oh man.
See, anomalies is
right.
But this is an anomaly.
What do you think, Thoreau?
Okay, so my original take was somewhere around like The Mask, Rocketeer, like 9, 10, somewhere in that area.
I like it better than both of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I personally enjoy it more than both of those, but I don't know if it's a better movie.
Are you in some sort of payola scandal?
Okay. I like this more than Swamp Thing. I will say this. I think I like this more than Swamp Thing. Not saying that I like this movie a lot, but I like this more than Swamp Thing. I don't know if I like this more than Batman 66. That I will say. Because Batman 66 was a fucking riot, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This movie was fucking
a lot of this
really weird.
This movie owes to Batman 66.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a feeling that I will watch this movie more times than I watch Batman 66, though. But
I have, sure. I don't know, 10.
So okay, well,
9. I feel like Brian of Nazareth while we're.
So I can.
What do you want?
How about this? I can live with putting it in between Batman 66 and Swamp Thing.
Right.
I think it's time Swamp Thing got knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah,
that was an anomaly, and then it became principle.
I need to prostrate for my Swamp Thing sin because I'm the one who threw that thing.
Oh yeah,
out. So we're not putting it at number 1.
In other words, it's
that
complicated.
Was a bold call,
it is.
Bold. Spiked the ball in the end zone right there.
Okay.
All right. So right there, Al.
Wait, you're putting it below Batman 66?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, yeah. Oh, no.
No, it's fine. That's
It
fine.
is-
Okay,
yeah,
we'll do
it's
it.
fine.
We'll do it.
It is fine.
Yeah, we'll do it.
When you think about it, it's fine.
It's fine.
Because Batman.
What's your
60
argument for number one, Al? What's your argument for number one?
Batman 66. Well, number one is just
Number one in your heart.
it's number one in my heart.
Yeah, there's no fucking way I'm willing to put this above Batman 89. There's I would fight to the death on that one.
No.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Batman 66. They were taking it seriously.
I
But
mean,
they were-
they
but they were
were, but they
in a
weren't.
weird way.
But
In
they
a
were
weird
sculpting
way.
from raw clay.
Yeah.
They made a lot of the things that like we just like Choda Boy. Like they said a lot of
Like
like
killing everything, the
Yes.
bat ladder, all those gags were
anyways.
No. Yeah.
So how about
No. Yes. Number 6. Above Swamp Thing.
Yes.
Below Batman.
the great thing is in your mind you can put the number wherever you want.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
You can, and in fact, you can make your own private list if you decide to do that.
True. You could make a list for every single part of your anatomy if you really wanted. That's all I'm saying.
No, Al's diary entry tonight would be like, I really wish we had put it in.
My appendix prefers Meteor Man, but
Okay, yeah, so 6 or 7, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll put
I'm just happy it rated high with all of us.
I'm just glad to be here, guys.
I'm just happy to have a job, None of this pays. It's just something to do.
I'm just
Nothing else
happy
goes right for me today.
I'm just happy to talk to people.
All right.
All right, so we put it at number 6. Woo! Number 6 out of 38. This was the 38th
6 with a bullet.
And that means that next week we're going to watch another movie, and that movie will be Blade.
Blade.
Wow, our second Marvel movie.
Yeah, took them a while.
Yeah.
Blade is 1998.
98, yes. That's the only 98 we've got, actually. We had a ton in 97.
98 was all.
Yeah. Batman and Robin kind of killed the superhero genre.
That was a kick in the ball.
Yeah, that's it. We will see you next week when we watch and speak about Blade with all of you folks. Blade. Thank you everybody for listening. This has been Throw Smiley, and I feel like I've really learned a lot about myself.
I'm Josh Cece, and don't quote Dickens in my apartment.
Farewell, evildoers. I'm Brian Lesh. Jesus and I love you.
I'm Alaric Weber. My ass is actually shaped like a pear.
And thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Harmless Phosphorescence was brought to you by executive producers Atticus Burkett and Michael Beckwith, and producers Alyssa Dent, Hedda Paulson, and Jojo Birchtree. Harmless Phosphorescence is a production of the Harmless Entertainment Network.